What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Welcome to another episode of MLB Hot Takes. We're watching the Field of Dreams game between the Yankees and the White Sox. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Hello. Just about 50 of you in the chat right now. What's going on, everyone? How we doing? Hope we've all had a good week so far. It's Friday tomorrow. I mean, come on. You got to be excited for that. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Hello, everyone. But yeah, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. We have the Field of Dreams game on right now between the Yankees and the White Sox. White Sox just hit a tank shot opposite field off of Heaney. It's 7-3 right now. I gotta say, man, what a fantastic idea this is. Man, this is awesome. I mean, just watching this, we're going to go take a look at some things here in a little bit. We're going to take a look at some pictures and whatnot. I mean, this is just really cool. Hey, whoa, we got a super chat coming in. I am still shocked Brian Hoke drove the distance. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable, Wander Davey. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for that $2.99 super chat, my friend. Really appreciate that. But as like I said, we have the Field of Dreams game on right now. This is a fantastic idea. I didn't think I would like it as much as I am right now. Just seeing just everything, how it's laid out. The corn. I mean, come on. This is just great. The uniforms, everything. Just the presentation, how they walked out onto the field prior to the game. I mean, come on. I mean, it's fantastic. Even Kevin Costner's there, too. This is just a really cool idea. And supposedly MLB is going to be doing this next year as well. I think Rob Manfred actually came out and said that. Hey, keep doing this every year. Honestly, why didn't they do this during, the COVID season? They should have just used this field for all the games. I mean, I would have been quite entertained if you ask me. But let's go ahead and get started, everyone. We got some hot takes to talk about tonight. We will be keeping an eye on this game tonight. But we have some hot takes. You guys, every week, I've been asking you to submit me some hot takes that I will pull up on here for you guys, and we'll talk about them. So before I do get started, if you can, hit that subscribe button for me if you are new. We're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers. We are very close to it. We're at 12.8 as of right now. We're actually right at 12.9. We need a few more, so hopefully we can hit that tonight, and hopefully we can hit 13,000 by the end of the week. Hit that like button for me, everyone. That's really going to help this get out there into the YouTube algorithm. Hit that bell button for me. I would love it if you guys could hit that bell button. That way you can get all the notifications and be notified of every video that I post, every live stream that I start. And hey, if you can as well, hit that share button. Share the stream tonight as well. Alrighty, so let's get to it. We got, I think I got 9 of them tonight. Got 9 of them. I picked my favorite ones out of the bunch. I think we had around 100 hot takes submitted. So fantastic. You guys are just absolutely amazing. You guys have been killing it with the hot takes every single week. So we're at right around 60 people tonight. Probably not a huge turnout for the hot takes this week, but hey, that is okay. 60 people is perfectly fine with me. Let's get to the very first one. So we got I think this is one where, we've all been kind of paying attention to this division race rather closely as of lately. So the first one, The Mets end up in 4th place in the East, and the Braves win the East with a 5-game lead. I mean, I don't know about... Okay, so I can maybe agree with half of this. I don't know if the Mets are going to end up in 4th place. I don't see that. But could the Braves maybe run away with this division? Let's go take a look at the standings as of right now. So, Ethan, thank you so much for this hot take. Let's go pull up the standings real quick. But the Braves are on fire lately, just like the Phillies. They're playing some good baseball. So let's go take a look here at the division standings as of right now. So if we take a look at the East, let's see. My Red Sox losing again today. Speaking of that East, they pounded on, 20 runs yesterday, and then they lose 8-1 today. What is going on with the Red Sox lately? They are fading. But let's take a look here. The NL East, the New York Mets, half game behind right now. Atlanta, 1 game back. So, Atlanta, Philly, they have been just cruising lately. Atlanta just playing some great baseball as of late. I picked the Braves to get at least a wild card this year, my preseason predictions. But did I have the Braves getting a wild card? I can't even remember who I picked for the wild card. I know I had the Padres and... Oh, no, I had the Padres and the Braves, I think. I can't remember that far back. But the Atlanta Braves, absolutely. They're right in the mix for the division. I don't think the Mets, who have been struggling lately, they have picked it up a little bit, though. They've won 3 in a row. Actually, how are they doing tonight? I haven't quite gotten a chance to look at all the scores. I was setting up for tonight's stream. But the Mets, or they won today, or they won both games today against the Nationals. So I think we can put it on ice that the Mets are going to finish in 4th place. I don't see that happening. I don't think they're going to. I think it looks like they have righted the ship, at least as of right now. So the Mets, I don't think they're going to finish in 4th. But now the question is, who is going to win this NL East? This is a complete dogfight right now. Philly in the lead right now with a half-game lead. The Braves 1 game back. This is just a crazy race so far. But as for the hot take, I definitely think the Braves could win this. Let me go pull up the Atlanta Braves on Fangraphs as of right now. So let me pull up their depth chart. Let's see what their team is looking like as of right now. So the Atlanta Braves, they lost Ronald Acuna Jr. That was a big loss for them. But they just started adding pieces left and right. Starting off with Jock Peterson. They brought in a Jorge Soler from the Royals. You brought in an Adam Duvall returning to the Atlanta Braves. They've just been making a lot of good moves to replenish that. Jorge Soler has been great for the Braves. If we take a look at the numbers from him, just the other day, went 2 for 2, solo home run, couple of walks. But it looks like his bat has really come alive. Let me actually pull up his numbers with the Braves. So with the Braves right now, through 10 games, he's hitting .314, a .429 on base. He's got himself a few home runs, 6 RBIs. Jorge Soler, he wasn't doing anything with the Royals. 192 average, a .288 on base. Sure, he had some pop, 13 home runs, 37 RBIs, but he is hitting a lot better with the Braves now. He is just getting on base a lot better now. So it looks like he has just completely revitalized his game going to Atlanta, or they figured something out with him. So good on them. But then also you brought in, a Jock Peterson a little while back, and he's been pretty solid so far for the most part. So Jock Peterson, let's take a look at how he's been doing. So with the Atlanta Braves, he's been great. Through 25 games so far, he's hit .293, a .383 on base, a few home runs for him, 14 RBIs. So he has been just fantastic. The Braves, you got to give the Braves a lot of credit. You lose a superstar like a Ronald Acuna Jr., you bring in a left-handed bat like a Jock Peterson. You bring in a right-handed bat like a Jorge Soler. You even bring in Adam Duvall. Let's go take a look at him, too. They got him out there. So I thought that was just hilarious that they brought him back because, he ended up going to the Marlins in the offseason. They brought in, they brought back Marcell Ozuna instead of Adam Duvall, which, makes sense. Marcell Ozuna, to me, I think is the better player, but he had his issues this year. And so you're bringing back Adam Duvall, who has 25 home runs this year. So it's not like he really missed a beat. But with the Atlanta Braves, so far, not really too much with the average, on base, kind of whatever. But, just like Soler and Peterson, he's got 3 home runs. He's driven in 10 runs. So, sure, he's striking out a bit. He's not really walking all that much. But that's kind of Adam Duvall. That's what he is. He's going to give you a lot of power. That's pretty much it. But I think it's just fantastic what the Braves have been able to do. their lineup is just really clicking. It's almost like adding these three guys instead of Ronald Acuna Jr. has almost made their lineup deeper. You know, because it's like you've just spread out the wealth if you kind of think about it, you know. I don't know. Their lineup is just really clicking right now. You know, obviously you would love to have a Ronald Acuna Jr., obviously, but this has been working for them, and they might as well just keep riding this wave as long as they can. You know, the one thing with the Braves, you know, it's been the bullpen, but, you know, they brought in Richard Rodriguez. Let's go take a look at how he's been doing. So I thought that was a great pickup for them. But Richard Rodriguez, let's go take a look at his numbers. So as of right now, he has pitched in, he's pitched in 7 games with the Braves so far, hasn't given up any runs. He has a 3.18 FIP. He's not really getting a lot of strikeouts, but that's not really his game. So, you know, I think Richard Rodriguez, obviously the guy is talented, but that bullpen was really thin, and he extends that bullpen, you know, just even a little bit is really going to help that Braves bullpen a lot. So, and then, you know, hey, there's also Eddie Rosario. Thank you, Orioles, in the chat. You know, and the Braves just look a lot better. They had, I think, one of the more productive trade deadlines. They didn't make any like superstar kind of splashes. I mean, sure, Jock Peterson is a pretty big name, you know, Jorge Soler too, but, you know, nothing like superstar level like Max Scherzer kind of a level. They just made a lot of solid moves to fill in some holes, and I really like what they did. I love their trade deadline. I thought it was really good, just really solid all around. But, you know, with the bullpen, you have a Richard Rodriguez. The one thing with the Braves, you could maybe look at the starting pitching, but so far, the starting pitching has really been able to hold itself together. Taking a look here at the stats, where are the Braves? So the Braves, and also let me pull up their where they rank among starting pitching. So let me actually go back here to the beginning of August, and let's go to right now. So far on the month, Atlanta's starting pitching has been, it looks like it's been pretty good. Let me click on the starters. Atlanta right now this month, they rank 10th in starting pitching over 9 starts, a 2.76 ERA, a 3.71 FIP. The Atlanta Braves starting pitching has been rather solid this month, and they have solid starting pitching. I mean, they don't have, you know, of course you'd love to have a Soroka, but you know, this starting pitching for the Braves has really done their part. They make their starts, and that's the important thing. They get consistency with their starting rotation. I mean, Charlie Morton, he has made pretty much all of his starts. He's 10-4 on the year. He's having a pretty underrated year, if you ask me, Charlie Morton. And I mean, look at the numbers. 23 starts, 3.42 FIP, over 10 strikeouts per 9. I feel like Charlie Morton's one of the more underrated starting pitchers this year. I mean, Drew Smyly's been, you know, the FIP is not great, but whatever. He's been making his starts. He's giving you innings at least. That's a very underrated thing about starting pitching. I mean, sure, you'd love to have, you know, these, you know, Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom kind of numbers, but I think an underrated thing when it comes to starting pitching is these guys are making their starts and they're able to go at least 5 innings. I think that's a very underappreciated thing. I mean, sure, you don't have to be a superstar level pitcher, but as long as you can make your starts, as long as you can, you know, get your innings in, I think that's huge. I think that's huge for a team. You know, Max Fried has been pretty solid for the most part this year. Ian Anderson, you know, Noah through 8 starts, you know, pretty solid. So, I mean, even Toussaint has been pretty decent lately. 4.28 ERA. FIP is a little high, but hey, he's making his starts too. You know, for the Atlanta Braves, they're just looking really solid all across the board right now. The lineup is really producing. The starting pitching is holding their own. The bullpen is doing a lot better. You know, I really like what this Atlanta Braves team is doing. And, you know, combine that with how the Mets have been playing. You know, sure, they've won 3 in a row. They won 2 against the Mets today. But, you know, can the Mets really, really get this ship righted? Let's take a look at the Mets schedule the rest of the way. We're almost at 100 people in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Also, yeah, Pete Alonso today. Looks like, was that a walk-off home run for him? I've been kind of out of it today. I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm back in my first week of teaching this week. I am tired. I am tired. I'm trying to do everything I can for the channel this week, but I'm just busy this week, man. But yeah, it looks like Pete Alonso had the walk-off today. You know, I want to also kind of say this too. You know, I watched something with John Boy today, and Trevor Plouffe and Jake, and they were kind of, getting on to Pete Alonso, because Pete Alonso had this press conference, his post-game press conference. Pete Alonso kind of made some comments, nothing bad by any means, but he basically just said, hey, you know what, we're playing baseball. He was basically just really shedding a positive light, kind of saying like, hey, we're going to get it turned around. Believe in us, have some faith in us. And he also said like, hey, we're playing baseball, have fun watching baseball. This is kind of, we haven't really had normalcy, in every part of life for how long now? I mean, this is as normal as it's been for over a year now, especially in baseball, fans back at the games. And Pete Alonso was kind of saying some, pretty nice positive things after the game, and I kind of appreciated what he said. But, John Boy and the crew, getting onto him saying like, no, you can't be saying that kind of stuff, especially in New York. Well, why can't you say that kind of stuff? What's wrong with saying that kind of stuff? I actually really liked what Pete Alonso said. I thought it was very nice to hear, some positivity. Especially considering how negative it's been in the world today. I don't care if you're in New York. I mean, Mets fans, I understand you're not having a great time right now watching, the Mets not perform very well lately, but have some faith in your team. It's early August. There's talent on this Mets team, and I understand, it's been a bit of frustrating times for the Mets lately. In the last few seasons, they have good teams, but they can't really just seem to get it done ever since the 2015 World Series. But you know what? It's a good team. Have some faith in this team. It's a good, talented team. They've had injuries. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little off topic here. I apologize. But, Pete Alonso, I liked what he had to say after that press conference. If you disagree, that's fine. I understand New York. It's you guys expect excellence. You expect some winning baseball. But I appreciated what Pete Alonso had to say. And I don't know. I didn't really see why, John Boy and the crew were really just getting onto him so much about it. Like, I get it, but at the same time, we're all human. And the fact that Pete Alonso was staying positive, during tough times, I appreciate that. I can appreciate that, especially, it's good to stay positive, especially during, it is the dog days of August. You gotta think about that too. Hey, these guys are just as frustrated as the fans. I mean, these guys want to win, but hey, for Pete Alonso to stay positive, I appreciate it. So I don't know. John Boy, Trevor Plouffe, I don't know. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, but I like it. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. But for the Braves, we are talking about the Braves. This is the hot take. This is the first hot take of tonight. But the Braves absolutely can win this division. They have really they added pieces here, and everything just seems really solid for the Atlanta Braves right now. I think this is a three-team race. They're all separated by one game. That's insane. This is going to be a really fun division down the stretch. This is anyone's division. I mean, the Mets are not going to finish in fourth place, according to the hot take from Ethan. I disagree with that. I don't think they're going to fall off that much. But it looks like they have at least righted the ship for now. I don't know what of course, it's definitely possible the Braves can win this division. Absolutely. There's no reason they couldn't. They have the best run differential in the division. If you take a look, I mean, it's pretty funny that all these teams are in the negatives. I mean, the Braves were as well at one point. So this is going to be a really fun division to keep an eye out for. I mean, I think this is going to go down to the last week. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of August turns out. I would expect September 1st, expect to see these three teams still in this position. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same exact picture on September 1st. I think this is going to be kind of back and forth all the way down the stretch. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you agree? Do you think the Braves are going to win this division? Let me know what you think. So give me a thumbs up for this hot take, or give me a thumbs down. What do you guys expect to happen here? What do you think? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. What do you think? I think we're going to have a lot of different answers. If you disagree, what team? Cade says the Phillies. Let's see what let's see what everyone else has to say. We are seeing a thumbs down from Ari. Rabin with a thumbs down as well. Ethan with the thumbs up. Johan, thumbs down. Athletics, thumbs down. Let's see what else. Joey's saying the Mets are going to end up winning it. Drew, if the Marlins end up winning this, I mean, yeah, well, I got to disagree with that one. That's not going to happen. But I can see the Marlins really being a competitive team next year. But, all right, so we're seeing some thumbs downs. We're seeing some thumbs ups as well. I'd say the majority of you think I mean, don't forget, this is also a two-part. So the Mets end up in fourth place. I think we all disagree with that. But type in the chat real quick. Give me a prediction. Who do you think, what team do you think is going to win this division? I'm seeing some Phillies. I'm seeing some Mets. I'm seeing some Braves. Who else are we thinking? Who else? Phillies, Braves, tie for the division. And then, hey, one-game playoff. I'm all about it. Give me a one-game playoff. Can we have a one-game playoff at the Field of Dreams field? I think that would be amazing. Can we just play at this field every single week? Can we have one game per week at this field? I love this field. Alrighty, so it looks like I expected. We're all pretty mixed on this, so we'll have to see what ends up happening in this National League East. Very competitive. So let's move on to our next hot take. That's not the right one. Here we go. Speaking of the playoffs, Depressing Apple has a hot take of his own. Reds make it in over the Padres for the second wild card spot. San Diego has 29 games against teams above 500 for the rest of the season, while Cincinnati has 14. San Diego definitely has a tough schedule ahead. Cincinnati does have the advantage right there. Let's go take a look at the wild card standings, and let's see what we have to play with here. Let's pull it up here. Pulling up the standings, pulling up the wild card standings. So taking a look. All right, so in the American League right now, Tampa Bay, Houston, White Sox leading the division. My Red Sox are hanging on to a wild card spot by a thread right now. Oh, my goodness, what is going to happen? I mean, the Yankees, they're losing right now, but, you know, hey, they've been playing great lately. The Blue Jays have been playing great lately. But for the National League, look at Cincinnati, 4 out. Cincinnati is starting to put it together, and they had themselves, I think, a pretty good trade deadline. They added some bullpen arms. I really liked what they did at the trade deadline. I thought they added some really good pieces. They added Michael Givens. They added Luis Sessa. You even got Justin Wilson in that too. The Cincinnati Reds bullpen, they have a good offense. They had good starting pitching. They needed more depth in the bullpen. They had nothing. Oh, that's hit deep into the cord. That's gone for Brett Gardner. Into the cord off of Lance Lynn. Look at Brett Gardner hitting a home run. Am I seeing things right now? Oh my. Brett Gardner goes into the corn, and it is 7-4 White Sox. Let's go. Oh, my. Here we go. Back to the hot take. So, the Padres, I mean, they're not playing bad, but the Cincinnati Reds are hot on their tails. Can the Reds get this done? Like I said, the offense is good. They have underrated starting pitching. I don't think a lot of people really look at this Reds starting pitching, but it's actually pretty decent this year. Even without Trevor Bauer, the bullpen was just really bad, but they added pieces to the bullpen, and it seems like that's been helping. They're playing pretty decent baseball as of late. So let's take a look here at how are the Reds doing right now. So let's pull up the batting, let's pull up the starting pitching, and let's pull up the relief pitching. So taking a look at Cincinnati's offense, like I said, you got some boppers in that lineup. Cincinnati, they ranked 12th in offense on the year. Not really too high with the offensive runs above average, 6.3. But, hey, Cincinnati, man, they have just been, they got some guys. Joey Votto having a really decent year this year. I was taking a look at the stats earlier. I'm like, man, Joey Votto, I knew he was going off lately, but I didn't realize that entire season of work is just looking really solid for Joey Votto. Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos, they were the stars of the show at one point, but then Jonathan India came up. He has been great. Look at Jonathan India right now, 279 average, a 398 on base. 13 home runs, 48 RBIs, even got 8 stolen bases in there. But look at Joey Votto. What in the world is going on with Joey Votto this year? This guy had 8 8 straight games. What was it again? Like 8 straight games, the home run. I can't remember the exact number, but I mean, Joey Votto has come alive this year. If you take a look, 2018, or go back to 2017, he had a 6.5 wins above replacement. That dropped down to a 3.5. And then he was basically non-existent over the next 2 seasons. You know, I mean, he put together a 1.3 wins above replacement over the next 2 seasons. But look at this guy, a 2.8 WAR in 2021. He's got 25 home runs. That's more, or actually, is that more home runs than he had? No, so he's 1 home run away for the, well, okay, I take that. I guess you can't really do that because last year was a short season. Whatever, I digress. But 25 home runs on the year. You know, if we go back to 2019, he had 142 games. He only had 15 home runs that year, and he's already at 25 through 85 games. Going back to 2018, he only had 12 home runs that year. So this guy is looking like what he was, 2017, 2016. So that's been a huge pick-me-up for the Reds this year. You got to love it. You got to love Joey Votto and getting on base. He's always been great at getting on base. So you love to see Joey Votto, doing what he's just done for so long. You love to see it. A lot of people were thinking, hey, this guy's getting towards the end of his career. That contract is just looking terrible, right? But he's picked it up. So it looks like Fangraphs has done an article on Joey Votto. Joey Votto's gotten his groove back. So if we're going to take a look, so it was 9 or 7 games consecutively. So if you want to take a look at this, it looks like, they have a whole breakdown. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not going to get too into this. I'd have to read it. But he's done something to where, I'm not sure if it has to do with, pitches that he's chasing or if he's done something mechanically. I'm sure there's been some mechanical changes in his swing. That usually seems to be a common denominator between guys that, have gotten out of their struggles and they end up, getting back on track. So I'm sure he did do some tinkering with his swing. I don't know. I know he was tinkering his mechanics a little bit in the last couple of years. I don't know if maybe he got away from that or he tried something new and that works. I'd have to read more into it. So, but taking a look here, let's get back to the Reds as a whole. But you got some guys really stepping up for them offensively. If we were to take a look at the starting pitching for the Cincinnati Reds, like I said, has been a little underrated for Cincinnati. As of right now, they rank 11th in starting pitching on the year, a 4.26 FIP. Cincinnati starting pitching has been really solid this year. Wade Miley this year. Come on, Wade Miley. Can we get a little love for Wade Miley? Guy had a no-hitter. He has a 3.67 FIP on the year. Not a lot of strikeouts, but he's just been really solid. Luis Castillo, he had a really bad start at one point. He got off to a really terrible start. I think his first start of the season, he gave up, 7, 8 runs? I can't remember exactly. But, look at what he's been able to do. 4.53 ERA on the year, but he has a 4.12 FIP. Let me actually see here. Let's go back to June. Let me go back to July. How did he do, or how has he done since the month of July? So, since the month of July, or the start of July, he has 8 starts, a 3.45 ERA, a 4.24 FIP. Let me go back to June. Let me see how he's been doing since the start of June. But yeah, he had a good month of June. If you can see, since the start of June, he has a 2.75 ERA, a 3.66 FIP. So he had a really bad first month. Let me actually pull up that first month. April 1st to April 30th. I believe his ERA was really high. Yeah, it was a 6.29, 5.40 FIP. The ERA was a 6.29. He was bad in that first month, but he's really turned it around. So he's been good. This whole starting pitching staff has just been solid. So let me actually let me click this again. So let me look at the other guys, Luis Castillo. Like I said, he's gotten it turned around. Miley's been good. Sonny Gray, he's been pretty solid for the most part. You have Maile, who's been really good. So this starting pitching has been really underrated. Imagine if they still had Trevor Bauer. This starting pitching would be phenomenal. So hey, you've added a couple of guys to the bullpen as well. So as a whole, Cincinnati, they rank 27th on the year. How have they done since the trade deadline? Let's pull this up here. So August 1st to now. What's today? The 12th. So how have they done this month? So Cincinnati, a little better. But the ERA is better, a 3.51 ERA. The FIP, not very good. But ERA, that looks like they rank pretty well. So Cincinnati, they're 14th in ERA. So they are walking a lot of guys, though. So that's why, their wins above replacement is kind of dropping a little. They're walking a lot of guys. So you need to see that kind of come down a little bit. But overall, the ERA has been good. And I actually want to take a look real quick at the defense. How do they rank defensively? Cincinnati, defensively, middle of the road. So they're 13th on the year defensively. So Cincinnati, they have been playing really well lately. And they have all of the ingredients now to at least put some pressure on the Padres. We can't deny how talented the Padres are, but they've been having their bumps. I mean, what's going to happen with Fernando Tatis Jr.? I mean, this guy's going to come back and supposedly play in the outfield? I mean, what's going to happen with that? The guy has a separated shoulder every week. What's going to happen if he takes a dive out there, falls on his shoulder a little awkwardly, and, well, then he's going to be gone for the year. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think Fernando Tatis Jr., I think he needs to add a little thickness to him. I think the guy is, he's not a very durable guy. I think he needs to eat a couple of sandwiches, start drinking, maybe a gallon of whole milk a day, start adding a little fluff to those joints. I mean, come on. This guy's getting hurt all the time. But you don't know what's going to happen with him when he comes back. One awkward fall, he's out for he's probably out for the rest of the year. So, I mean, but San Diego, their starting pitching has been up and down. It's not really been great starting pitching. San Diego's starting pitching, where are we at? They are 15th. I mean, they're kind of it's just okay. It's been pretty up and down. Let me actually pull up here what they're currently looking like pitching-wise. I just think that's crazy. Fernando Tatis Jr. in what, center field? Where are they going to put him? Left field? So while that's loading, let me actually go for the offense. Padres, where are you at? I think they're 11th, right? Yeah. So Adam Frazier's been a nice addition for them. He's been hitting really well. But Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, if this guy can just stay, if he was playing more games, this guy would be the easy MVP. That's kind of opened the door for guys like Bryce Harper. So, I think Bryce Harper, if Fernando Tatis Jr. comes back and plays healthy down the stretch, he's just missed a lot of games. He's missed what? How many games are we even at right now? We're at, I can't count, 116. I mean, it's so right at around like 115 games for these teams. So, and he's missed what, like around 30 games, 25, 30 games. So if he comes back, what happened to the stats? If he comes back and plays the rest of the season, doesn't miss any more time, I think he ends up getting MVP. I mean, I think his numbers are just too good. So, I mean, you got guys like Max Muncy there, but Harper has just been playing so well lately, and Harper, I feel like, has been putting together a pretty solid campaign. He's been coming alive as of recently. If you take out Ronald Acuna Jr. and you take out Fernando Tatis Jr., if you don't count those guys, Harper in the National League, among the guys in top 10 in WAR, Harper leads in on base and slugging. He doesn't lead in home runs. He doesn't lead in RBIs, but the overall body of work, the wins above replacement, likes Bryce Harper. So I think if Fernando Tatis Jr. isn't there, if he's going to miss more time, I think Harper ends up getting that award. I do like that take, Brecken. Adames, he's been phenomenal. He's been great. But yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr., what's going to happen with him? Let's go look at this team. So, I mean, you still got a lot of solid guys. You know, these guys have been really good. Frazier's been really nice. He's been a great addition, especially with Fernando Tatis Jr. out. So he's been very nice. But the starting pitching, it's really up and down. You know, Yu Darvish, you never know. I mean, you got to remember here, Yu Darvish is 35 years old. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a couple little bumps in the road for him. Blake Snell had a really good start against the Diamondbacks recently, but what's he going to do? He's been up and down. Musgrove, ever since the whole sticky thing, seems like he's kind of come back to earth a little bit, I believe. So, I mean, overall, he's got a, you know, he's having a pretty solid year, though. So, yeah, Ryan Weathers has had some injuries. You know, Lamet, I guess, I don't know what's going on with Lamet. So, what is the news on Tatis? The Padres are expected to reinstate Tatis from the 10-day injured list. This was yesterday. So, it looks like he's going to be back this weekend. So, I guess if you play him, who do you take out of the lineup? Do you put, I mean, I don't know. Who do you take out of this lineup? I mean, Trent Grisham you got to keep in there. He's been good. You take out Will Myers. Will Myers has been getting on base. I guess you'd take out Will Myers, right? Tommy Pham has, well, maybe take out Tommy Pham. I guess you could take out Tommy. Well, I don't know. Tommy Pham is a pretty decent speed threat. I don't know. Who would you take out? So let me know in the chat. Who do you think if Fernando Tatis Jr. comes back and plays in the outfield, who would you take out? I would keep Grisham in there. I guess it comes down to Pham or Myers. So I guess it depends. I guess you could just kind of, those two could be more of like a, I don't know, utility sort of, or a platoon kind of thing. Aren't they both? Pham's a switch, right? I always forget if he's, no, he's a righty. I always think he's a switch hitter for some reason. And then Will Myers, he's a righty too. So, I mean, I guess you basically keep Tatis Jr. in. I don't know, but like he's never even played outfield professionally. So, I mean, who do they have at short? You have Cronenworth at short? I mean, wouldn't it be better to maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Why do they want to put him in, is it because of his defense? Is that the reason? Like I'm guessing that's the reason you want to move him off of short, because his defense hasn't been good. So Cronenworth's defense has been good. So I can understand that, but I don't know. So I guess you would take out, you know, probably you take I don't know. I feel like it would be safer to put Tatis out in left. I don't know. What do I know? But that's going to be really interesting, and especially you know, that if you put him in the outfield and he ends up, you know, excelling out there, that would just be even more of a case for an MVP for Fernando Tatis Jr. So, but getting back to the original hot take. Here. The Reds make it in over the Padres to the second wild card spot. San Diego has 29 games against teams above 500. And then, while Cincinnati has 14. So let me know what you guys think of Depressing Apple's hot take. Do you think the Reds end up making it past the Padres for the second wild card, or do you think the Padres hang on? Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm very interested. I'm a little split. I'm seeing thumbs down so far. MLB Joey says no. Rabin says no. Let's see what else you guys think here. Ooh, we got a couple of thumbs ups here. Couple of thumbs ups. Cujo with the thumbs ups. Athletic with the thumbs ups. Cody with the thumbs ups. Johan with the thumbs ups. Seeing some thumbs going up and down. Anthony with a thumbs up. Man, can we imagine the Cincinnati Reds winning a wild card spot over the Padres? That would be absolutely insane. Jeff Graw, what's going on, my friend? Thumbs up from Jeff Graw. I mean, could you imagine the Padres not making the playoffs out of all the hype that they've gotten? I mean, that would be a monumental failure. That would be huge. That would be astronomical if the Reds didn't, or if the Padres didn't make it to the playoffs. That would be insane. I mean, no one expected the Giants to be this good. That would just blow my mind. The Reds are just playing some really good baseball. But the one thing, if the Padres end up, making it like I think a lot of us expect the Padres to end up hanging on for a wild card, at least give some credit to the Reds. They've made some noise. They're only 4 out right now. It's not a sizable gap. Is it going to be a little too much, too late? We'll have to wait and see. So, but very interested. The Reds over the Padres for a wild card spot. That is juicy with 2 O's. So, let's move on to our next hot take. Let's talk some Milwaukee Brewers. David cursed the Brewers will win 100 games and make it to the World Series and win. Man, oh man, give it to me. Give me a Milwaukee Brewers World Series. I need it in my life. I would love it. I've been on the channel, I've been on the record on here, saying that I would love to see, if my Red Sox don't make it, give me a Rays Brewers World Series. Give it to me. Give me a Rays Brewers World Series. That would be horrible for the TV ratings. But as a baseball fan, that would be so fun. I would love that. Oh, man, I'm already seeing a lot of thumbs downs. I'm seeing some thumbs ups. You guys are getting pretty, oh, man. This one woke you guys up. I love it. This is awesome. I love seeing that. So let's take a look here. Where are the Brewers at right now? So, and this is a perfect time to pull up some projected standings on Fangraphs. Let's see what Fangraphs thinks the Milwaukee Brewers are going to do. So they have the Brewers on pace to win 95 games. So that's 5 off of the prediction. I don't know. I wonder. So let me do some quick math. So they are currently 69 and 46. So that is 115 games. So they have won. Let's see. So 69 divided by 115 times 162. So the pace that they're on right now, they are on pace to win 97 games. So it's going to be close. They're going to have to really, put together a few wins here. They're a little behind the pace to make 100 wins. But let's take a look at the rest of their schedule. Oh, they won 17-4 today. Are you kidding me? Man, oh man, this Brewers team, I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Milwaukee Brewers in October. Don't sleep on them. But taking a look here, you got the Cardinals for 3. You got the Nationals for 3. You got, 3 decent games here against the Reds. Then you got the Twins. So right here, let's say, I'm gonna write these down here. So let's say, yes, I'm still a person that keeps a notepad. Am I the only one left today that still keeps a notepad? Is that just me? Nothing wrong with just good old paper and pen, But here we go. So let's say you do 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals, 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say you take 2 out of 3 against the Reds. Let's say 2 out of 3. I'm just going to have them win series. All right. So let's say they split with the Giants. Giants fans, don't kill me in the chat, please. Don't kill me in the chat. Cardinals, let's say 2 out of 3. Phillies, I'm basically going off of if they win or split every single series for the rest of the season. So, all right, so let's say they 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. Let's say 2 out of 3 against the Indians. Let's say 2. All right, yes, I'll have them sweep the Tigers. I don't know. Let's say they split with the Tigers. I'll be fair. Let's go 3. So 3 against the Cubs. So 2 out of 3. Split with the. All right. I don't know. So I'll go 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals. All right, let's do that. Oh my God! Ah! What is happening? Oh my God! This is $4 more than the revenue. Oh, brutal. Oh my God, please give me a Brewers Rays World Series. Jeff Graw, what the heck, man? Oh my God. Dude. You're killing me. Oh my God, Jeff, man. You're incredible. Absolutely incredible, man. Nuts. Dude, Jeff Graw, thank you so much, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what every time you do this, I'm speechless. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill Orioles. I cannot do the chair fall. I already dropped my pen. Goodness. Did you guys see my pen go flying out of my hands? Absolutely incredible. Everyone, please, hey, thank you, Jeff Graw. Round of applause. I appreciate that. Like I've always said, every super chat, it goes towards the channel. I try to find any way I can to upgrade the channel. I put it all basically into an account for the channel. So that way I don't get enticed to go, to the local Chipotle and spend it all there. I don't like to do that. I like to try and do everything to upgrade the channel in any way I can. Jeff Graw, you're amazing, man. Thank you so much. But you are correct on that. This is $4 more than the revenue of a Brewers Rays World Series. You got to think Rob Manfred. Can you imagine here? Let's say the Brewers and the Rays are in a Game 7 of their, championship series. Rob Manfred would be sweating. He would be absolutely just sweating. Like the gif of the guy from Key and Peele, just water just running down his face. Rob Manfred would probably just mysteriously disappear if a Brewers Rays World Series were to happen. Can you imagine the ratings on that? It would have to be the lowest rated World Series of all time, right? Am I wrong on that? I would think Rays Brewers, if you had that for a World Series, I don't see how why that would even get national attention. That would be one of the worst ones of all. I would love that. I would think that's two amazing teams. But unfortunately, they just don't have big fan bases. They don't have big markets. They just don't. I think maybe the Rays, you could paint a story about the Rays, if you're Major League Baseball, you would totally focus on, your main focus of that World Series, the leading story would be the small market teams, that would be the driving story of that. But I think the Rays would probably get more attention just because I think the Rays have a smaller payroll than the Brewers. I'm pretty sure by at least a decent amount. Let me actually pull this up real quick. Sorry to divert here from the hot takes, but we just had a $250 super chat bomb from Jeff Graw, an absolute legend. So right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are at number 26, and the Brewers are at 19. Okay, so at least with, the Brewers, it's still under 100,000 for the payroll. That's just crazy. If you had the Brewers and the Rays, that's a combined. That's not even close to 200,000 payroll. You got to think if those two teams made it, that would be. Let me do math real quick. So, what? The Brewers are at 97.5, and the Rays are at 70.4. That is roughly around 168 million. That's not even. How many teams have more? That would be combined. That would be less than the St. Louis Cardinals, the Padres, Angel. All these teams. That's not even. That's almost. That would be what? So 168. 168 divided by That would be 62%, 63%, those two teams' payrolls combined. That would be just a little more than half of the Dodgers' total payroll. I mean, that's just mind-boggling, you know? I hope we see it. I would love it. Major League Baseball does not want to see that World Series. Absolutely not. They're hoping, one of these teams, like the Dodgers, makes it out of the NL. I mean, because those are the big markets. Rob Manfred would disappear. He would disappear. You would not hear from Rob Manfred for probably 2 months. You would not see him present the World Series trophy. That guy will go into hiding because everyone, all those investors will want to kill him because of how bad those TV ratings would be. For us baseball fans, we would love it. In the baseball niche, in the baseball community, I mean, how could you not love Rays and the Brewers? But for the casual fan, I mean, unfortunately, no hate, but unfortunately, that's just not gonna get a lot of viewers. I mean, you're gonna get way many more viewers if the Yankees and the Dodgers make it. That would be just stupid. But Jeff Graw, I appreciate you, my friend. You're an absolute legend. I love you, my friend. Thank you so much. You've been huge for this channel. I really appreciate that. But let's get back to the hot take. So I was writing down real quick. Let's see. If the Brewers were to win or at least split every series here on out. So I did the Cardinals. Let's say you took 2 out of 3 against the Mets. And let's say you took 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 24, 26. So, I don't know. That would be pretty. So where are they at right now? You're at 70. So if they were to at least win every series, and they have 1 2-game series, let's say you swept that. Then, or let's say, they had another 4-game series here. Let's say you won that series. So 3 out of 4. So let's say they got 28 more wins. If they won every single series for here on out, that would be 28 wins. And that's not sweeping. I don't know. So that would be 98 wins. So they would need to at least win every single series to be able to get to at least 28 more wins, which would put them at 98. Throw in a couple more sweeps, then you could do it. It's going to be tough for the Brewers to get to 100. That's going to be really tough, but it's not impossible. Not impossible by any means. Now, back to the next part of the hot take. Can the Brewers actually win the World Series this year? Why not? Why couldn't they? Why couldn't they win the World Series? Let me actually pull up here the Brewers. I mean, you had, last year, they kind of took a quick exit, in that wild card round against the Brewers, against the Dodgers, sorry. But you got a rotation that can get it done. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, those guys have been insane. Peralta's been really good. I mean, if you got those 3 guys, going, I mean, absolutely. And you added a couple of other pieces in that bullpen by the deadline. I don't see any reason why. I mean, John Curtis. Oh, no way. John Curtis when did that happen? That happened a couple days ago? Oh, that is brutal. I didn't even see that. John Curtis, really? Wow, they just got him at the deadline. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I really like that move for the Brewers, bringing him in. Oh, that stinks, man. That stinks. Anyway, but, they have a pretty decent bullpen. Josh Hader, Devin Williams at the back end. So they've had some other guys stepping up too. I wonder, I did like that John Curtis move. I thought that was a pretty nice addition for middle relief. So I disagree, Cade. I don't think he's not terrible. I mean, look at the numbers for John Curtis before he went down. I mean, this guy had some really solid numbers: a 3.83 FIP, 3.45 ERA. I mean, no, he's not going to be the most lights out guy like a Josh Hader by any means. But this is a solid guy for middle relief. How was he? I mean, how many? He pitched in 6 games for the Brewers? Oh, okay. So he was bad with the Brewers. I'll agree with you on that one. Okay, I didn't realize those numbers were that bad for the Brewers. But before that, he was good with the Marlins. He had great numbers with the Marlins. So, I don't know. But that just didn't work out, unfortunately. But the Brewers, they have a pretty solid team all across the board. I really like that Rowdy Tellez move. I think that's a forgotten one. With the Brewers, he has been great. Rowdy Tellez, with the Brewers through 26 games, he has a 329 average, a 407 on base, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's been great. I mean, Rowdy Tellez, what a solid pickup for them. He wasn't really doing too much with the Blue Jays, but he's really turned it around with the Milwaukee Brewers. And Willy Adames has been huge. He has just been fantastic. Willy Adames, so with the Rays, he was only hitting 197 through 41 games, 254 on base. Comes to the Brewers. This guy completely turns around his game. Completely. A 300 average, 383 on base, 16 home runs, 46 RBIs. He's playing great defense. Willy Adames is, I think, one of the more underrated shortstops in the game. I mean, especially now. Because, look at what he's doing with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's been fantastic. So, they have a great line. Christian Yelich, I don't know what is going on with this guy. Let me take a, what has he been up to lately? He's only hitting 226 on the year. The power is just completely gone. I know he was out for a little while, but, the on base is still elite. It's a 372 on base. He's striking out more. He's striking out at around 7% more than he was in those MVP caliber seasons. So the strikeouts are definitely up. But the walks are doing really good. He's walking. He's getting on base. So that's one thing about Christian Yelich that's been good. I also, I want to look at the plate discipline here. So, okay, his outside swing percentage, it's actually lower than what it was, back in those two really good seasons where he had a, He had over a 15 combined WAR in 2018 and 2019. So if we take a look at the plate discipline, where did it go? So his outside swing percentage is actually lower, so he's not chasing a lot. His zone swing percentage is around the same. He's swinging less. In 2018, 2019, he swung at around 45%. But this year, he's only at 38%, so that's down. He is making around the same contact with balls outside. He's making less contact, so he has a lower zone contact. So maybe there's something mechanically going on with his swing to where he's just not really he's just not making a lot more contact. So maybe there's just something going on there. Or at least, contact in the zone. His contact percentage is around the same. It's 74%. So he's still making the same rate of contact, but he's not making as much contact on pitches in the zone. So that's something to keep an eye out for. I don't know. First pitch strike. He is... So that's lower. So that's interesting. 2018, he had a 60.5 first pitch strike. And then this year, it's at 51.7. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think there's just something mechanically going on with him. So, but he has been hurt this year. So, that's one thing. When you go down, and when you're dealing with an injury, you're having to try and come back from that. And then you have to really try and ramp up, in the middle of the season. And that's hard, man. I think something mechanically just got thrown off with him. I think give him an off season, of just getting his act together. I think Christian Yelich, we end up seeing him have a really good season next year. I mean, if you look at the numbers, he has, I mean, a really good on base. So he's still seeing the ball really well. So that's a good sign for me. But, you know, I don't know. He's just not making as much contact, at least, you know, with pitches in the zone. So, again, I'm wondering if there is something going on with his swing. I don't know. But I think we end up seeing Christian Yelich bounce back. I think he's going to have a really good season next year. You know, go into the offseason healthy, you know, figures out whatever's been dogging him. I think he's going to end up being good. But I feel like I'm rambling. Here we go. So for the Milwaukee Brewers, you still have you have great starting pitching. You're first in Major League Baseball in starting pitching. The bullpen, it's been better. Right now, the bullpen, it ranks, 22nd. But that bullpen was a little lower at one point. Or that's ERA. Whoops, I'm looking at ERA. The ERA is not very good with the Milwaukee Brewers, but the FIP is a lot better. So, which is kind of weird. That's kind of weird because they have such a good defensive team. It's really weird that the FIP is a lot lower. So, I don't know. These guys in the bullpen, I'm wondering what's going on with that. I'll have to look into that more. Because usually that's like a big indicator of maybe the fielding is the problem, where they have a lower FIP than the ERA, but their fielding is phenomenal. They're one of the best defensive teams in the game. I believe they're second in Major League Baseball. I could be wrong. Where is this? They're second behind the Rockies. So they have a good defensive team. So, I don't know. I think that's the only thing that, you know, the bullpen, I wonder how that's going to be in the postseason, especially against good teams. The offense, it's better, but how is that going to be against like elite starting pitching in the playoffs? We're going to have to wait and see on that one. So, yeah, but I think the Brewers definitely have a good chance. I think they have a good chance of making it to a World Series. I think they're a pretty underrated team in the National League. But I think just the only question is, what are they going to do when they run into teams like the Dodgers? You know, what's going to happen if you run into a Padres team that maybe gets hot, or, you know, a Mets team that gets hot? You know, what's going to happen then? So we'll have to wait and see for the Brewers, but let me see what you guys think here with the Milwaukee Brewers. Do you think this is accurate? Do you think they're going to win 100 games, make it to the World Series, and win? Give me a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's see what you guys think. Yeah, H-Life boys, I'll have to look into that too. I think his exit velocity is a little down. I could pull that up really quick. So Christian Yelich, his exit velocity on average is down this year. So that shows he's not making great contact. And we saw that with the zone contact. The zone contact was down. So his exit velocity in 2020 on average was 94 miles per hour. This year it's only 89.8. However, his max exit velocity on the year was around 115 miles per hour. So that's good. I think there's something mechanically going on with his swing. I think there's something wrong with that. So, alrighty, we're seeing a lot of thumbs downs. I'm seeing a couple of thumbs ups. Hyde is saying yes for a thumbs up and no for 100 win. Or what the heck did I even just say? You're giving a yes for a World Series, and you're giving no for 100 wins. Gonna be interesting. I like this Brewers team, man. Alrighty, let's move on to our next hot take. Here we go. So let's talk some awards. Let's talk a little bit about some awards. The next couple of hot takes have to do with awards. So because of DeGrom's injury, Zach Wheeler wins the Cy Young. So let's go pull up here the current rankings in Major League Baseball among pitchers. So as we can see, Zach Wheeler is currently tied with Corbin Burnes for the WAR lead on Fangraphs. And you know what? Let me actually pull up, let me see what Baseball Reference is saying. I tend to look at Fangraphs a little more with when it comes to the overall leaderboards, but Baseball Reference, they do it a little bit differently. So Baseball Reference right now, do you see the difference here to where they have Corbin Burnes with a 4.2 wins above replacement, while Fangraphs has, that's not the right one, while Fangraphs has Corbin Burnes with a 5.6. So Fangraphs likes to weigh the expected numbers more. Baseball Reference is more kind of like, the surface numbers, I would say. I think they mix in FIP a little bit more and the XFIP. I don't even know if they do XFIP, but it's just funny how Corbin Burnes is number 2 in Major League Baseball on Fangraphs, while Baseball Reference has him at number 10. So very interesting. So, but Zach Wheeler, if you take a look at both Baseball Reference and Fangraphs, he leads in both. So I personally feel like this is going to end up going to Zach Wheeler. I think personally, I wonder how much of a difference those 3 starts between the two are going to be. But, I mean, if you take a look here, Burnes so the one thing with Corbin Burnes, he has a lower ERA. So you have to also remember the baseball voters, they're not going to look at FIP. They're not going to look at XFIP. They're not going to look at all that. They're going to look at ERA. They're going to look at strikeouts. They're even going to look at wins. So you have to really remember that with the voters. That's how they do it. They don't look at FIP and all that stuff. So they don't look at Baseball Savant. They don't look at any of that stuff. So with Zach Wheeler and Corbin Burnes, actually, what are the total? Again, those are strikeouts per 9. So yeah, Zach Wheeler. It's funny because Corbin Burnes, where is it going on here? Corbin Burnes has 12.79 Ks per 9, while Zach Wheeler has 10.4. So Corbin Burnes' K per 9 rate is higher, but if you look at the total strikeouts, Wheeler has more strikeouts because, Wheeler has thrown more innings than Corbin Burnes. But again, you have to wonder with the voters. They're going to look at that total number. They're going to look like, okay, well, Wheeler has more strikeouts than Burnes. Well, Wheeler has a lower ERA. So, I mean, you could even look at the complete games. They look at stuff like that too, where they're going to be like, oh, well, Zach Wheeler, he has 3 complete games, while Corbin Burnes, does Corbin Burnes even have a complete game this year? Maybe he has 1. I don't know. But either way, they're going to look at this. They're going to look at the fact that Zach Wheeler has 3 complete games. So you just got to kind of think it's not just about, all the numbers. It's how are the voters going to look at it? So that's kind of a big, that weighs very heavily. So I think Zach Wheeler is going to end up getting it because I think, the pace that he's on for strikeouts, I think he's going to end up finishing with more Ks. I mean, but then maybe Burnes ends up finishing with more Ks. I think that's very possible too. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. That's going to be very close at least. Wheeler, again, he has the complete games. That's like a small little thing to just throw. That's icing on the cake. If we take a look at ERA, Burnes does have the lower ERA slightly. So, that's one thing to consider. Wins and losses. I mean, I know wins and losses aren't really a big thing. Wheeler also has more innings. So that's also a big thing to consider too, is Burnes did miss a few starts. So Wheeler is, bearing any health issues, Wheeler is going to finish with more innings. So I feel like it's going to end up going at this rate. I feel like if you did it today, the voters would pick Wheeler. I think that's just how it's going to go. And also, but then again, if you're looking at WAR, Wheeler has the higher WAR. So by a good amount, like on Baseball Reference at least, a good amount, almost 2 more wins. So that's a big thing. But I think if you were to pick today, I think Zach Wheeler wins the Cy Young. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think Zach Wheeler is going to end up winning the Cy Young? What do you think? So give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. If it is a thumbs down, who do you think ends up winning it? I think right now it's between Wheeler and Corbin Burns. I think those are the 2 guys. I'd say right now Wheeler has the edge. So Chad Doomslayer, Trevor Bauer for Cy Young. He's going to come back with a vengeance. He's going to throw 5 no-hitters in his last 5 starts. He's going to carry the Dodgers to a World Series and win it. And Trevor Bauer wins the Cy Young for the 2nd straight season. Decent, not bad. So I'm seeing a lot of thumbs ups here. We got Jeff Grob, the thumbs up. Anthony, thumbs up. Oh, yes, Rabin, yes. Blade, thumbs up. Athletics 510, thumbs up. Cade, thumbs up. Matthew with a thumbs up. So I think a lot of you are probably thinking here, hey, Wheeler is definitely the favorite. So, yes, Aaron Riss, insane. Jeff Graw, once again, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. But let's move on. Here, hold on. Let's read one more comment here. High Life Boys, we can make a new award called the Bauer. Who will be the next to get in trouble? Brutal. Here we go. Moving on here to our next hot take. Let's talk about George Springer. So this is more of a what-if thing. This isn't really a prediction thing. If George Springer played more games, he would be in MVP talks. I thought about this. When George Springer hit that big-time home run against the Red Sox last week, I thought to myself, man, imagine if Springer played more games. What would this guy be doing? He missed a lot of time. This year. And I wonder how good would George Springer be if he was healthy. So let's pull up here the Blue Jays. Let's go take a look at George Springer. So right now, he is fully back. He's fully healthy. So on the year so far, through 46 games, he's hitting .285. He's got a .371 on base. 645 slugging. He's got a 1.9 wins above replacement. Let's say what is the average amount of games that he's played? So let me go pull up Baseball Reference here. One thing I like about Baseball Reference is you can get the average really quick. I love that about Baseball Reference. So let's say from 2016 to 2019. Wait, no, what did I just do? 2016 to 2019, he averaged 141 games. So this year, he has played 46 games. So let's say 46. Let's say he played 140 games times. So if he were, I think I'm doing this right. Hold on. 46 divided by 140. Or actually, no, I think I'm doing that wrong. I think it's 140 divided by 46 times 1.9. He would be on pace for a wins above replacement if he were, let's say, if he had these numbers over 140 games. You're probably looking at a WAR of around 6. For the season. And if we were to take a look at the leaders right now, Springer in the American League, I don't know, Vlad Jr. with Vlad, that's pretty tough. I don't know, man. So let's see, Vlad, he's on pace to play 112 divided by, what is it, 115? So, hold on. 112 divided by 5.1. Nope, that's not right. 5.1 divided by 112 times, let's just say 160. So Vlad is on pace right now for a 7.2 wins above replacement. So, I don't know. I think Springer would be in talks. Personally, I don't think Springer would win it if Vlad was having this same kind of season. I don't know. I think it'd be really tough. I think it'd be really tight. I think Vlad right now is just simply having the better season than a George Springer. I think George Springer would be in talks, but let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you think George Springer would end up winning an MVP if he was healthy this year? I kind of like this one. Kind of a change of pace instead of just doing predictions. So, I mean, then you got Ohtani as well. I'm sorry, I didn't even look at anyone else. I'm thinking just Vlad. You know, Ohtani, he's kind of, what is he at? Is it a 4.4 WAR? Well, that's all on Fangraphs. So I feel like when it comes to the voting, I feel like you're going to look more towards Baseball Reference. Ohtani has a 7 WAR on Fangraphs right now. So does that include pitching? So player value, batting. Where is it? Ohtani. You know what's funny? I haven't really heard too much about Ohtani lately. You know, it's like when, you know, right around the All-Star game and everything, home run derby, you were hearing about Ohtani so much. Like, it was just like Ohtani mania. But ever since then, I feel like I haven't heard anything about Ohtani. But right now, with the pitching, he has a 3.1 WAR with pitching. With the batting, he has a 4 points. Okay, so that combines the batting and the pitching. So Ohtani is the leader right now when it comes to overall. I mean, and then where is wow, really? They have a 4.9 for Vlad. Well, I guess that's not really far off what okay, it's right around the same. Oh yeah, so I guess Ohtani, yeah, definitely has a sizable lead right now. I mean, if you go, yeah, I mean, the highest guy next up, position player wise, would be Semien. That's another guy to think of too, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like this is going to end up going to Ohtani, in my opinion. I mean, the reason I was bringing up Vlad Jr. was just because, you know, he's having a phenomenal season as well, but he's also on the same team as a George Springer. But I don't think Springer would end up winning it, personally. That's just my opinion. I think Ohtani's going to end up winning it. I mean, I think the guy's just done everything. I mean, he was so hyped around, you know, home run derby, all-star game. He was the face of the game. I think they want to give him the MVP because that's like you're like almost kind of, it's almost like Mike Trout in a way is kind of passing the torch, you know, where Mike Trout, he has been the best player in the universe for how long now, and I expect him to come back. I don't even know if he's coming back this year. I was reading the Angels saying, you know, they're not gonna, or they are going to bring him back this year or whatever. But, like, I don't know. A lot of people are starting to think he is not going to come back until next season, which, I mean, the Angels are out of it. You might as well just have Trout sit out the rest of the season, honestly. Maybe play a little bit. But anyway, with Ohtani, it's almost like, you know, you got this new face of the game. He's an international guy to where you can just market Ohtani. Like, just, I feel like personally, I don't know, Trout doesn't like the marketing stuff. He doesn't like all that, you know, but Ohtani, he seems to be more up for all the marketing. So I could think Major League Baseball, they would really like for him to get the MVP. So that's just what I'm thinking. But back for the hot take, no, I don't think George Springer would win the MVP. I think he would be, you know, top 10 in vote getting. I don't think he would end up getting it, though. But that's just my opinion. So let's move on to our next hot take. We are cruising along. So we just had George Springer for that hot take. But now, speaking of George Springer, let's get away from the awards here. Let's kind of look towards the offseason. The Tigers, George Springer. Got some friends over there, manager of the Tigers, knows George Springer very well. And could the Tigers make a splash? Could they go for a shortstop like a Trevor Story? Could they go for a shortstop like an ex-teammate, Carlos Correa? Could we see something like that and then end up making the playoffs? I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm gonna make an early call right now. I've been saying this about the Tigers now for I feel like over like a month. I feel like I've been saying this for a couple of months. I'm telling you, I think the Tigers are really close. I think they're just so close. I mean, they've been playing pretty decent baseball this year, considering kind of where they're at right now in the timeline. I expect these guys to take a big step forward next year. I expect them to make some signings in the offseason. I think they're really close. And you got like Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson coming up soon. I mean, they got some other guys down there too. So, but let's go take a look here. Let's go pull up some free agents for 2022. Let's go pull up the Detroit Tigers right now. So the Detroit Tigers, if we take a look at their team as of right now, you just also locked up Jonathan Schoop to an extension. So, which I thought, well, if you don't trade a Jonathan Schoop, because he's a free agent soon, well, then you better sign him because he's having a good year. So it's like, what are you going to... That's what I thought. Once they didn't trade him, I figured, okay, well, they're probably going to try and sign him. So you got Grossman for another year. Miguel Cabrera. Is this Miguel Cabrera's last year? Is he done after this year? Like, what's going on with him? Is he... Oh, my God. He has... 2024, 25 vesting options. He is a free agent, or he could be a free agent in after 23. Oh my God, you got Miguel Cabrera for next year and 2023? What the heck? Oh, you're right, Anthony. Thank you. I keep saying Shoop. I don't know why I see Shoop. I mean, I don't know. I don't see Scope. When I see a CH and OO, I'm thinking Shoop. So it's Scope. I apologize. I've always said that one wrong. I can't remember to say that one correctly. But Miguel Cabrera, man, that's crazy. What a bad contract. The Miguel Cabrera contract, the Albert Pujols contract, those did not age well at all. I mean, good grief. So you got Miguel Cabrera for 2 more years after this. I thought to myself, man, that could really open up the designated hitter spot. But I guess not. But you still got a lot of talent, obviously. I mean, hey, Akil Baddoo, what's going on with him? Am I missing him right now? Akil, where is he? Is he hurt? Oh, he got a concussion. Oh, that's great. But you got a lot of young talent. Akil Baddoo's been having himself a good year. Unfortunately, with the Spencer Turnbull, you are going to lose him for next year. So Matthew Boyd's been having whatever going on with the elbow. I think he's a free agent after 22. Yeah, so he's a free agent after 22. So the Tigers, they have some pieces here. They do have some pieces where they got young pitching, and even there are some other guys down in the minor leagues that could end up coming up as well, pitching-wise. So hey, be on the lookout for the Tigers next year, especially when I think they can end up having a pretty good bullpen as well. But you got a lot of guys here where young guys, Casey Mize, Scoot Ball, Matt Manning, go out and get a guy in free agency. I mean, you got some guys. Could you bring back a Max Scherzer? I mean, probably not, but could you? Sure. Could you give Justin Verlander a call? Sure. I mean, take a look at some of these free agents. You got some guys out here. So take a look here at the starting pitchers. I mean, you're already seeing, Greinke, Bauer, probably not. I mean, Kershaw, he's going to be a free agent. Could you end up having a phone call with Kershaw? There's going to be, like I said, Scherzer. You're going to have Stroman out there, Kevin Gausman. You know, I could see the Tigers making a run for a guy like a Kevin Gausman. Oh, Athletics. I never pulled up the music. You know, let me go pull up that music real quick. Oh, I forgot about the music. Oh, man. I didn't set the relaxing tunes for you guys. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Putting on the tunes. Okay. Alrighty. The mood just got better. Here we go. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear the music. Yeah, Jason, right? Thank you. I mean, thank you. Last time I checked, you know, when we learned, you know, phonics back in school, I mean, last time I checked, SCH makes the sh sound, and OO makes oo, so sh, oo, p, shoop. I don't know. That's just me. Alrighty, cool. Alrighty, you guys can hear the music. Okay, so, but there are some guys the Tigers could go after. I absolutely could see them going after a Kevin Gausman. Throw a 4-year, 5-year deal out there for a Kevin Gausman? Sure. Why couldn't they go get a Kevin Gausman? I could see that. You know, there's not a lot of other guys. I mean, could you maybe throw something at a Noah Syndergaard? Maybe. Eduardo Rodriguez, I could see something like maybe him. I could see something like that. Maybe, you know, got guys like Robbie Ray. Could go after him. Maybe like a John Gray. Something like that. You know, there are some guys out here I could see the Tigers getting in the mix. But look out for Justin Verlander. Could they throw a deal at him, you know, for, you know, maybe a 1 or 2 year deal to finish off his career with Detroit? I'm just saying. I mean, there are some guys here the Tigers could go after. But the hot take had to do with the shortstops. Why couldn't they get a shortstop? I don't see why they couldn't. You know, got AJ Hinch. I mean, why couldn't you make an offer for a Carlos Correa? I could see Carlos Correa in a Tigers uniform. That seems to make some sense in my head. I don't know. It just looks visually appealing as it is anyway. I can see Carlos Correa in the Detroit Tigers white and navy blue jersey. I can just see it. But then you got guys like, you know, maybe Javier Baez. If you want to go for a cheaper option, maybe go for him. You know, Corey Seager. I mean, I read something that the Tigers are going to be hot after a Corey Seager in the offseason. That's the rumor. Could you go after a Trevor Story? Maybe even a Marcus Semien. You can see something like that. I definitely think the Tigers are going to get a shortstop. That's just my opinion. I think they're going to get themselves one of these shortstops. I think they're going to go get a starting pitcher. I think the Tigers are close. I think they're going to add a couple of guys to the bullpen. If you take a look at the Tigers as of right now, where are they? Where's their team? The Tigers, their payroll is nothing. They have $104 million. That's nothing. So they definitely have some room, and they probably have some guys coming off the books, right? I mean, you got Arena coming off the books, Tehran coming off the books. You got these 3 guys that they're coming off. So I mean, you got a little bit of money coming off. That's crazy, man. $32 million going to Cabrera. That's nuts, man. You hate to see it. I mean, could Cabrera end up getting? Do you DFA him? Kind of like what the Angels did with Pujols. Could you do that? Could you buy him out? That's a lot of money. I don't think you really need to, I guess. But yeah, so the Tigers, I'm expecting them to be big buyers. I'm expecting them to be really in the mix in that AL Central next year. Absolutely can see that. I think that AL Central next year is going to be really fun. I think the White Sox are still going to be really good. I think the Twins, I think they're going to have a bounce-back season next year. I think they're going to kind of retool. I don't think you're going to see them rebuild or anything. Hey, the Royals, they're getting a little bit better every single year. The Tigers, I think they're going to take a big step forward this offseason. That's just my opinion. But I could absolutely see the Tigers making some noise this offseason. But let me know what you guys think here in the chat. Do you see this hot take coming true? Do you think the Tigers will go either after a Story or a Correa? Could you see the Tigers making the playoffs next year? Let me know what you think of this hot take, everyone. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think. Ooh, seeing some thumbs ups here. I love it. I love the love for the Tigers. The Detroit Tigers getting some love. Orioles, I think the Mariners are almost 100%. Yeah, I think you're going to see the shortstop market. You're going to see the Mariners get involved. I think J.P. Crawford is fine, but I think if you have a guy like a Corey Seager out there, I mean, could that be a big factor in is Kyle Seager is a free agent after this year, right? Or is it after next season? I think he's a free agent, right? Or is it a team option? I can't remember. Looking up the contract. No, I don't want to go to MLB.com. Yeah, so it's a team option. You know, could you maybe see the Mariners? I mean, I wonder if the Mariners, could you maybe see a scenario where they exercise the team option for a Kyle Seager, and then you bring in Corey Seager to play shortstop? Could you see that? I mean, that right there, I mean, you got the family. Hey, we're going to exercise Kyle Seager for another year. Corey, come play with your brother. I mean, I'm just saying. That I don't know. I wonder if that could end up happening. I don't know. Could you see? I think the Mariners probably could go get something. Hey, Waffle Man, happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. But alrighty, everyone. So I'm seeing a lot of thumbs ups from you guys. So I definitely am excited for the shortstop market. I definitely think the Tigers are going to do something. Look out for the Mariners, too. I can see them doing something. So, everyone, that's all I have for tonight. Those are all the hot takes I got for tonight. I appreciate you coming out. It's been a fun week of hot takes. Jeff Graw, I want to thank you for the $250 super chat, my friend. Living legend here on the channel, here in this community. I appreciate you. Everyone, I want to thank you for coming out. I do want to let you know soon, very soon, probably next week, very soon, I'm going to be starting MLB The Show content. I'm going to start getting that on here. I've been kind of playing it a little bit this past week. I've been trying to get a feel for it. I figured I didn't want to just jump into it on the channel. I kind of wanted to play around, figure out all the buttons and whatnot. Probably going to be really focusing on franchise mode. That's probably kind of where I'm going to go with that. Maybe I can do some hangout streams here and there. Maybe play like Road to the Show or something. Just be on the lookout for some MLB The Show content. But probably going to focus on the franchise stuff, more like some team rebuilds, kind of like what the Ant Ortiz does. He has a great channel. If you want to look up some stuff from him, his name, once again, is the Ant Ortiz. Phenomenal. He does a lot of team rebuilds. So, I would love to start doing some stuff like that. I would like to do them live. I'd like to see how they would go live. That would be something I think maybe some of you would be interested in. So, that's all I got, everyone. Again, like I said, be on the lookout for MLB The Show. Power rankings are still this Sunday night. Be on the lookout for any videos that I upload for the rest of the week. But everyone, that's all I have for tonight. I want to thank you for coming out. Jeff Graw, thank you one more time. I really appreciate that, my friend. But have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good Friday tomorrow. If I don't post anything for the next couple of days, I will see you all on Sunday night for Power Rankings. Everyone, have a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.